Hello everyone, welcome back to Daryl D TV and welcome to sunny Phoenix, Arizona, where we have a nice 70 degrees here in the middle of February. I'm glad you could join me. Today we have yet another underground comic haul, and I just literally picked up this stash of underground comics yesterday, so I haven't really gone through them too tough. Might be one or two in here that I picked up already, but I got them for a good price, and I definitely wanted to just make a real quick video and show you guys what I picked up real quick. Okay, so it's kind of windy today, so I need you guys to bear with me. I'll try to cover the microphone if the wind, picks up a little bit too tough. So just kind of bear with me, and let's look at a few underground comics. First up on the list, I've never seen this one before. This one is called Knockabout Comics. And I got to flip through it, and I couldn't find any information as far as like a publishing company, other than the name Knockabout Comics. No info, no more info than that. It definitely, I believe, is out of London, England, and I was able to come to that conclusion when I look on this back page. Kind of says it, right there, that it's out of London, and it definitely has like multiple artists, multiple stories. Haven't looked in any detail to see who any of the actual artists are. Definitely nobody that I'm familiar with that I can recall. And I haven't gotten a chance to do any kind of research on this book on the internet at all either. So I'm not sure what issue it is, but I thought this was cool. And any information on this, kind of leave it in the comments, and just put me up on game, because this is totally new to me. And check that back cover. Anarchy Now. At the police station. Right on. All right. Next up, I found another copy of Doofus. This is number 2 or 3. Number 2. Definitely a later pressing with the $3.50 price tag on it. So definitely a later pressing on that one. I think I showed a Doofus magazine in the last video that I made. Haven't gotten a chance to look through them. Not really sure what it's really about, but we'll find out. This is actually the next couple that I'm going to show you. I've seen these before. I've never picked them up. I actually picked these up because I'm probably will flip them. I hear they're pretty popular, but this is issue number 2 of 8 Ball magazine. Ever heard of 8 Ball? And let's see, that looks like a later pressing too. $2.50. Fantagraphics books, and this one I haven't opened up, but I'm not sure what issue number this one is, but that's a real wow artwork on that 8 Ball as well. I know I flipped through them before. One I think I picked up a while back, or maybe I was just flipping through these the first time I came across them, and I wasn't really turned on by the artwork at all, but I'm sure somebody else will love that kind of stuff. The next one I want to show you, I believe I showed you this one in another video. This is issue number 2 from the print mint of Real Pulp Comics. And, you know, Pope had a lot of murder, mystery type comics or whatever. A lot of you underground comic heads are definitely familiar with Pope. Next one I want to show you, this is another one I've never seen before. This is from Renegade Press. I believe this is issue number 12 of Neil the Horse. You guys ever heard of Neil the Horse? Looks like a later printing, $2 on the cover. Not sure what the year of this was. This next one looked kind of interesting, kind of medieval looking actually. I'm not really into this kind of stuff. This cover does nothing for me. Also from Renegade Press, this is issue number 1 of Black Zeppelin. I can't see myself holding on to this one for very long. I'm just not into this stuff at all. It looks just a little bit too weird for me. What do you guys know about it? Gene Day, 1979 is the cover artist. But yeah, I don't know. I picked it up. Yeah, why not? It was there. There was a few more copies. I got these from a few different places here in town. This next one I want to show you. It looked interesting. I picked it up. It's like a mini comic. It's called Dury by Bit. Have you guys ever heard of this? I have not flipped through this. I have no idea what's in here. The Creative Process is the title of that one. I know I have some mini comics. I think they're Grunt or something like that. I may have showed it in a previous video, but I don't have too many of these small mini comics, and so I just thought that was kind of interesting, so I picked it up. Now this next one looks really interesting. I really dig this cover art. This is called Mayhem, and this is issue number 2. This is from 1978. Kind of has that Conan type vibe to it. I thought that this artwork was really cool. Move these over a little. Again, I haven't had, you know, any time to look these up or do any type of research. Says 1978. Bloodbath Returns. You guys familiar with this one at all? What kind of information can you give me about that? I think this is a cool one. I've showed a few of these on previous videos. This is Barbarian Comics, number 3. That is definitely a sticker on there, so it probably says 50 cents under there. I know you guys are familiar with that. I only became familiar with Barbarian Comics in looking for my Richard Corben books. He did issue, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, but he did some artwork on the inside cover. So that's how I'm familiar. I know there's a Barbarian Women, I believe, comic in that too. I may have even showed that one before, but I think the one I showed in a previous video was different from that one. Up next is the first pressing of the ever popular Zap Comics. This is number 3 with the cool double cover action going on in there. So that's a cool one. Next up is another one. I've never heard of this one. This is from 1987. Slave Labor Graphics, issue number 2 of Suburban Life. Audience participation. $1.75 on that. Sounds like a later pressing to me. I believe I showed a copy of this next one. Hopefully it's not the same one as this, but this is issue number 2 of, I'm going to try to say this correctly, Dr. Wortham's Comics and Stories. Issue number 2. Some crazy stuff going on that cover. Back to the ever-loving Zap Comics. You've seen this one many times, I'm sure. Issue number 7 of Zap Comics. Crazy artwork here. And we also have issue number 3. I think I just showed this one to you, didn't I? Zap Comics number 3. Didn't I just show that? I'll make sure I'm not going crazy now. I've been known to do that. I sure did. I picked up 2 issues again. And we have another later issue, issue number 10 of 8 Ball Comics. And those were the regular size comic books. I picked up a few regular books and magazines I want to show you now. This one is Robert Crumb, the Apex Treasury of Underground Comics. Relatively thick book. And then on the back there, it's got all of the different Robert Crumb books where his art is featured on the cover. Then we have more Crumb with the last supplement to the Whole Earth catalog, 1971. And then here's, I believe this newspaper is out of New York. It's a newspaper. It's called The Funny Papers. This is from 1975, April of 1975. And it features a number of different artists and cartoons and stories. I know Robert Crumb is in this one. It's got a lot of just regular stories as well as comics. A lot of writer submitted stories and whatnot. I thought this was interesting to have. Definitely something you didn't see unless you were in the New York area during those times. I just spoke to a buddy of mine who's from Brooklyn, and he recognized it right away. But it's called The Funny Papers. You ever heard of that one? I haven't. I picked up a few magazines as well. This one I've never seen before, called Antisocial. Ever heard of that? Look at this crazy stuff. This is crazy. That's like something right out of a nightmare. Multiple artists. Nothing super appealing to me in this book. As I've mentioned before, it always starts with the artwork. for me. Some of the stuff is pretty cool in here, you know, that I'm seeing, and some of it not so cool. Here's one I've never seen before. This is issue number 1 of Heroic Fantasy, and it's not a Warren book. I've never seen this before, so I'm not sure what the publishing company is on this one. Have you guys ever seen Heroic Fantasy? This looks really, really cool. It's kind of got that Conan, Tarzan vibe to it as well. And then last but not least, I want to show you 4 copies of Robert Crumb's Weirdo magazine from Last Gasp. This is issue number 6. I believe he worked on this book from the late 80s through like the mid 90s. Issue number 7. Issue number 8. Look at that weirdo stuff right there. And last but not least, we have issue number 9. I really dig this cover. The shop I got this from, they probably had another 4 or 5, 6 copies of Weirdo. They were all later, I think issue 22 and 26 and 19 and a few in that area. I may pick them up. I need to flip through these and see if there's something any I want to keep or whatever. But I may end up picking up a few more of those. But yeah, that was my latest underground comics pickup, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's gonna take me a while. If you've been following, you know, my other videos, you know that I picked up quite a few within the last few months. So I've got a lot of reading to do, and like I mentioned before, I have picked up doubles and triples of some of these books. So at some point I'll make a for sale video or something, or post them on Instagram, something at some point. So sounds like the wind is kicking up again. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Daryl D. You're watching Daryl D TV, and we'll see you on the next one. You guys stay safe.